Alright guys, what's up? The microphone decided to cut out on me, so we're gonna go ahead and do this in a little bit of a different style. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about is Google Duo. It's perfect. It's a video calling application, very similar to FaceTime on the iPhone, where you're able to basically have like a FaceTime call between someone using an Android phone or Android device and yourself with an iOS device, and that works really, really well and really, really seamless. So the cool thing about that, it's got many, many features, but when they're calling you, before you even answered the call, you'll actually see their face or whatever they're doing at the time. It shows a video of them of whatever they're doing before you've actually answered that call, so they could be waving at you or something else like that, which is really, really good. Go ahead and check it out. There's so many videos online and information about that particular app, and I think it's fantastic. Moving on. Sweet, cool. So the next thing we're going to talk about is going to be the Google keyboard. It's called the Gboard, and that is amazing. That's one thing that we're missing out on iOS, or that you may have missed out on iOS if you're coming from having an Android device. They've recently revamped their keyboard, where they've made it really, really packed with features. From being able to have like live GIFs or GIFs, whatever you call them, and you've also got obviously like the updated emojis, but you can use the keyboard to actually construct Google searches in the keyboard. And on iOS, we also get swipe text, so that we don't have to physically tap on each letter in order to type some text. You can just swipe on the keyboard, very similar to a functionality that was in like Samsung from a long time ago. Um, but yeah, this keyboard is really, really easy and quick to use. You'll see me using the keyboard here to type out an example, hopefully now or sometime soon. um, but yeah, here we go. So we're going ahead and swiping text. It works really, really quick. It's a lot more efficient than tapping on the phone screen. Like this is really, really nice and easy to use with just one hand. If you've got the phone in one hand, you can just use your thumb and go ahead and smash out some paragraphs nice and quick. So I think it's really, really cool. In addition to that, you'll see that the keyboard is black. So it's the closest thing we're going to get to like dark mode on the iPhone. I know, like I said, we're moments away from iOS 11. Don't know if that's something that they're going to bring out. However, this is one way around it. So you'll see me here using the Google search functionality. All I've done is clicked on that Google button there at the top, and I I already had a word typed out, and it's giving me search results right there within that keyboard layout at the bottom of the screen there. So I think that that's amazing. And you can click on the link and it will copy that link and paste it right into whatever you're typing in, whether it's in a message or in a search field or whatever. And that person can click on that link, go straight to that news article that I've just copied just there, which is really, really good. That's super, super useful if you guys are discussing something and you say, you want to Google something right in the messages app that you might be talking about, and that's cool. There's also, what is that? I don't know what that is. Looks like some sort of restaurant or something. Uh, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Obviously it gives you the option to go ahead and call them to get directions, and obviously to like share that however you wish to as well. Again, which is really, really good. Right there directly within the keyboard. You can also search for images in the keyboard as well, which is really, really useful. So again, you can go ahead and just click on any of those images, and it copies a link to that straight away, or copies a picture and pastes it straight into the message that you're sending. And again, you don't have to leave any application to do that. You're doing that all right there within that keyboard. And then you can also get GIFs. And notice I haven't had to type out the word ham again. I know it's really random, but that's already been typed. And all I'm doing is just clicking on either the search functionality, the images, or the GIF. And it's able to give me a GIF based on the text that I've typed. And you can just click on the GIF straight there, and it will copy that, and most of the time paste it directly into your messages app, so you can express your feelings to whoever you're talking to in a much more effective way. Um, a more creative way by using GIFs. It's something that we're seeing introduced in the likes of iMessage. They're using quite fun and friendly things like activities and GIF integration in their messaging services now. So that's probably something we'll see coming into a lot of different um, message applications in the near future. And obviously, like I mentioned as well, you get all of the new and updated emojis. So all those new emoji faces are all going to be in this Gboard app as well. It's really simple to download and set up. It's self-explanatory, nothing too complicated about it. You can edit the background of the Gboard as well. You can have it any color. You can put an image behind there. It's really, really cool. So it looks like we're going into talking about Google Keep. That is a notes application. Again, it's web-based, so you can go ahead and go onto your Windows PC or your Mac or your Android device, whatever it is, and you can go to google.com and just click on Google Keep, and you'll be able to see all of the notes that you've taken on your phone right there on the website. In addition to that, all of the notes that you take on your iPhone will also be saved on your Android devices, vice versa. And it's a really cool app. You can organize your notes by color. You can make a theme. So, for example, here I'm going to use the theme called test, and all you need to do is just put hashtag. And when you put hashtag test or hashtag whatever, it will create that theme for you. So that the next time you make another note, all you need to do is type hashtag test, and it will put that new note in the same category as the other notes you've made that has hashtag test in there. So again, useful functionality that's really easy to use. And there's so many other features in Google Keep as well on iOS that's quite useful. So the next thing you're going to see me do is type out ham restaurant, and then I'm going to use a Gboard to bring up results for that. So I've typed that out, and then what I'll do is just press that Google button there in the corner, click on ham restaurant, and then straight away I get results. So I just click that result and it pastes the link straight there, so I can click right on the link and it will take me to my search result. And again, I haven't had to leave the application to do that. It's done it all within a keyboard. And it's put that nice logo there, so it's really clean and neat. And it's as simple as that. I've got the telephone number, I've got the address, everything. And that's all done through the keyboard straight away. So next of all, you'll see me go into collaborators, so I can use this to add somebody else to that. So if I want them to know about the restaurant, I can make this note, add them to that note. You'll see at the bottom there it says collaborators will be updated, so they'll get an email inviting them to have access to that note. Then they can update that note themselves, or I can update the note or add to the notes, and they'll be able to see those updates. We'll both be able to collaboratively work on this note and add whatever we want to it. So that's a super useful function to have in this Notes app as well. So next I'm going to go ahead and click on the reminders button, and this will allow me to pick a date and time to be reminded about that particular note. Cool, so the next app I believe we'll go into will be Google Home. You'll be able to get a lot more information about this kind of app, again online through most places, but essentially this is something I find that works best on Android, but they're doing a great job bringing it over to iOS. It's been about for a while, but I've got my televisions linked to this home application, and what that allows me to do is cast content from my phone over to my televisions. So whether it's Netflix, YouTube, some photos or videos, something like that, whatever, it connects to the Wi-Fi at home, and any Android TV or like Google Chromecast that you've got built into your television or whatever, it will come up there. So you'll get access to that, which is quite cool. You can also use your Google Home application, Google Home devices or smart home devices like your Philips Hue lights or your Google Home speaker, which is soon coming out in the UK. It's going to be quite expensive, but anyway, I'll show you guys a little clip of using my Philips Hue lights on my Apple Watch through the iOS Home application. Okay, because the first video flopped and there was no audio, I've got to record this again. Hey Siri, turn all the lights up to 20%. Hey Siri, turn the back left light to green. Hey Siri, turn the back right light to purple. Hey Siri, turn all the lights down to 1%. But the Google Home application can also do that. So you can say, okay Google, turn the lights off in the bedroom, and it will do that for you. I didn't have that set up, but again, that's something that it brings a possibility to life. So that really pretty much sums it up for you in terms of having a Google experience on the iPhone or any other iOS device for that matter. And guys, the world's your oyster, so next we're going to go into the Google Allo application, which is a free messaging service similar to WhatsApp, mostly similar to iMessage, because initially, how like iMessage is just for people with iPhones or iOS devices, you can't download that on an Android device. So Google Allo made a messaging service that you can use between Android devices and between Android and iOS devices. And the coolest thing about that is that it also includes Google Assistant in the iOS device as well. So that's the closest thing we're going to get to having a real live working Google Assistant right there on our iPhone. So you're seeing me here talking straight to it through the microphone. I ask questions like what's the weather like or what's the schedule, and it will tell you there and then. You can type a message to it. You can tell it to book you an Uber, to schedule an event, to call somebody, and it will do that for you right there and then. So you could be having a conversation with somebody in Google Allo and send them a message. You're talking about going to lunch tomorrow. The Google Assistant will suggest booking an event for the two of you, so that you can schedule an event in the calendar to say you two are going to lunch. It can suggest a restaurant. It can give you the reviews to it, photos about it. It can give you directions. You can book a table. You can probably order an Uber through using that Google Assistant right there in the messaging app. So that's my main messaging app that I use rather than iMessage. You can also send standard SMS through that as well, I believe, which is really, really cool. So the opportunities there are endless. Again, lots of videos online about Google Allo, but keeping it short and sweet here, trying to anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now, I believe. I didn't go into details with the Google News application, but that's something that I prefer to use again over the stock news app on the iPhone, simply because again it brings more functionality. I find the UI a lot easier to use and navigate through as well. So alright, so for those of you who are wondering, you've been using the stock iOS applications such as Mail or such as the calendar. What will happen when you download the Google experience or these Google applications, and you want to try and move over to using those instead? Well, so long as you've been saving your contacts, for example, in your and the account that you've been using for your contacts is actually your Google account, going through your Gmail. When it comes to using any of those Google applications, it's still going to be pulling the information from your Gmail account, so you'll be safe. You don't need to worry that none of your contacts, are going to be recognized or won't come up. The same goes for your calendar. If you've been using the stock calendar application, so long as your account that you've been using for that is your Gmail account, when you download the Google Calendar application, all of your events and schedules will still be exactly the same because it's been using your Gmail account to make those calendar events anyway. So as soon as you log into your Google account in the Google Calendar application, all of the events from the stock application on the iOS system, they're all going to be there. You're not going to lose anything. Um, so that's the best part about it. You don't have to go and add all of the events back in all over again, or essentially you're not going to lose any information, which is another really huge benefit about having this sort of setup going. Right, so for those of you who've been wondering whether or not something like the Google Music application would work with your Apple Watch, the good news is it does work. It works perfectly. So you'll see me here play some music on the Google app. I'll then open up my Apple Watch, and all you need to do is press that button, swipe over to the music and now playing, and you'll see that it recognizes I'm using that. I'm pressing the play pause button, turning the volume up and down, changing the track, and it'll do that all perfectly, with no lag, no glitches. It works great. So the fact that these Google applications work seamlessly with your Apple Watch as well, it's a win-win situation. The same goes for using Google Allo on the messaging services through Google, including the email application and the calendar. All of that still comes through on my Apple Watch, and I can still reply and read messages using just the Apple Watch. So guys, that's been about it. That's the Google experience on iOS. Thanks for following. Any questions, hit me up in the comment box below. Follow me on Twitter, Google Plus, all of that good stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.